And looks like we are live. I think we are good. We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to. I'm calling this right now the wind down. I was trying to think of some way to sort of do this sort of like the wrap up, sort of some of the production. I think I kind of like that, the wrap up. So, but the idea is that this is sort of it's into the evening. We're trying to wind down, but also I'm gonna use this sort of I'm gonna try to make this sort of kind of a weekly live stream to basically go over some of the things that is covered in the week, some things that I made, either news stuff that I want to talk about, but I also give this time to maybe try to do some things involving DaVinci Resolve. We'll see how that picks up, but really this is just sort of a nice little vibes and good things, and hopefully we can have conversations. Looks like I'm the only one here right now. We'll see if I'll be talking to myself for the entire chat. We'll see, but hopefully YouTube is not feeling mean and suppressing me through this. So, well, I'll give it a couple minutes. But yeah, hopefully I sound good. Hopefully things sound well. Let me know how I sound. Hopefully things sound great. It looks like we got a couple people. So we got a few people in the chat that's starting to migrate their way in. Welcome. As I said, I just wanted to just making sure that I sound okay. Just give me a little, either a thumb ups emoji or sounds good. And if you are wrapping up or winding down, again, haven't really thought of a title, but I kind of want to try to make this sort of a weekly thing. Sort of let me know what you're sort of winding down on. Today I'm going with a Two-Hearted IPA as my choice of wind down beverage. It's got a nice little it's got a nice little tang to it. I like this. But hopefully if people are in chat and people join the chat, One of the things I kind of want to go into is sort of the, sort of the state of affairs of filmmaking, both from a personal, but also for we can see from a larger standpoint of what to discuss. Also, obviously, it's 4 days of Prime Week, Prime Day. Is it a Prime Day or Prime Week? I don't know. It's supposed to be Amazon Prime Day, but it's like 4 days. So, which one is it, Jeff Bezos? But yeah. So may discuss some things like if you went out and bought stuff on Prime today. Let me know. But yeah. So looks like they left. But we'll see. We'll see who is here in the chat, and also leave a like. So maybe that will help the algorithms out with that. So we'll give it a couple minutes, but otherwise I'll just start going in on the conversation. I think I'm gonna maybe I should find some way to get some music in here, to try to sort of get the vibes going. But yeah. Some music in here, to try to sort of get the vibes going. Yeah, so I do sound. Yeah. So I'm gonna put this down so I don't create an echo for myself. But it sounds like them. But sounds good. So we'll give it, like I said, another 3 minutes, and I'll sort of go into the main topic at hand. Again, if you guys make sure, just along, sir, I want to make sure you guys all hear me, and throw in the comments, because as much as I love y'all to make sure to hear me, I want to hear you guys. Because obviously this is our industry, this is our field, this is what makes us get our paid bills and keep the lights going on. So I would love to know what you guys are thinking and what's going on in your neck of the woods. Give a little bit more time to get a little more time for people to hop in to the chat. I guess this will be a good time to sort of talk about these new lights that I have. So, I have these guys. These are from Newer. These are the TL98C. These guys are awesome. They're small. As you guys see, they're really small. What I love to do is just throw these in. When I'm in scenes, I like to hang them up, but kind of still keep them in frame, to be the thing that kind of creates this motivation. You can even throw these like in a lamp or something, but I throw these on here to just put it on the wall to give the wall a little something. But these guys are like, they're like 30. I think they're like 35, $40. And I think there's like an Amazon deal going on right now. So really, really cool, guys. Fully magnetized, easy to do. I absolutely love these. Definitely want to try to check these out. All right. Let's get this back in. Got my belly on down. Sorry about that. So. I think I got one person here. So for the one person that's here in the chat, thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully your day's been going well. Let me know how this is going. We'd love to hear about it. But I think so my day right now has been got a couple jobs, couple gigs that are coming later in the year that they're like 1 day shoots, so nothing like multi days, which would be nice, but you got to take what you get. So I just agreed to one for like November. Trying to see about a potential relatively decent sized corporate gig that could be a multi-day event. So that's scheduled for potentially October, but that's still tentative for me. And then I just wrapped up like a month long of weddings. Literally, that's kind of why I haven't been sort of like as consistent, because it's just been like I deal with one wedding, then I got to go right into a next one as well. So for like since basically mid-May, I have been just having a wedding pretty much every weekend up until last week. And now I've got kind of a little break from the wedding thing where right now I'm trying to focus. I got a spec project that me and my sister are trying to finalize so we can get this going do it for the summer. And then we are also trying to lock down some of this new opportunities that are coming in the summer. So, and I've got YouTube videos, and I've been talking to a couple companies. Hopefully there's some products coming in soon. Can't talk about because nothing's really happening right now, but if I do, I'm going to be really, really excited to talk about it. Anyways, let us go, I guess, not waste time and go right into the main topic. So, guess to say is that it's been a rough year for the most of us here, particularly in the United States. And I guess this is sort of what the main thing to talk about is sort of like there's been a lot of slowdown, and let me know if you guys are feeling it in your area. I'll start off by there's been sort of a big thing that sort of gives kind of a bit of the signs of what is happening. Let me make sure this is all right, and then let me switch this over. Oops. Nope, sorry, wrong one. All right, yep, here we go. So, I don't know anybody here that's in Australia right now, but this news coda broke by News Shooter by Matthew Allard, and thanks Matthew for this. But it looks like one of the big post-production houses in Australia is going into liquidation. So I'll just read the headline real quick, but one of Australia's leading post-production houses, Cutting Edge, which has worked on films such as Pirates of the Caribbean and Aquaman, has closed down and gone into liquidation, with staff allegedly owed over 2.4 million Australian dollars. Large companies like this closing down is very concerning given the current state of the industry. The article, I'll let you guys read the article, but it goes on, it gives sort of the notice from Cutting Edge and sort of gives that. It sort of goes into the things in terms of the liquidation services. So I would definitely and highly recommend that you check out News Shooter's article and definitely take a look at it and see about it. It sucks, and it's definitely showing signs of the times. I think also they were really known for like their commercial, a lot of the commercial works that they've done. Like they did a lot of commercials with I think Kit Kat, some sort of candy, and a couple car companies as well. But yeah, it's just another one where, like I reported a while ago, that there was also a report of a studio closing down as well, or no, a major rental house in LA was closing down as well. And we're sort of and definitely we've been seeing it at least here locally. In the Philly, Jersey and even in the New York area. I've been talking with a lot of my friends, people that we know who are like on major projects, who gained through their work quite a bit of a network. They are starting to sell off their gear. A very good friend of mine is looking to move out of their studio, and there's I think even somebody that we knew that had a studio in a major building right in like the center of Philadelphia. Well, it's more of South Street. It's like South Broad Street. Um, they it was like in a building we have called the Bach. It's a very well known building in Philly, but they sold their studio. So yeah, there's just a lot. Uh, it's this year has been definitely been rough. Um, I think it's just from at least for me personally, I know I could say that a lot of the policy decisions of the Trump administration did not help the situation. It was already a troubling situation with it's just shooting in America was just getting expensive. People started doing shoots more abroad. But then the policies of the Trump administrations didn't help at all. So yeah, there's a lot happening. But I guess the question is, okay, so how do we survive this? How do we get through this? And for me, there's sort of three things that I would say that I have personally done, and um, and basically I'm putting this and doing this live stream. So maybe this is something that you guys can take for advice. Number one, the first thing is anything that was not necessary, I try to get rid of it, and try to downsize. Um, and that's basically what me and a lot of my friends have been doing. We've been downsizing. Um, Me, it's just there's been I've sold off a lot of gear. I've still got gear. I'm probably going to sell off to just cut things and just not give away space. Luckily, most of this stuff has been paid off, so it's I don't have to worry about any too much looming debt in that regard. Um, and if I am going to make any purchases, and I am, if I'm going to make any purchases, it's going to be very, very strategic and very, very business. And for right now, there's only really one major purchase that I'm going to get, and that is I'm going to get the Pixis 12K. That's really the only major thing, mainly because I know there's both stuff for here for the content for the channel for you guys. So that's something that you guys can be into, but also I know that there's potential market for it, at least here in the Philly tri-state area, as well as potential definitely some rental potentials as well. So I see a lot of opportunities where the I keep saying the Ursa City 12K, but the Pixis 12K, that I can recoup a lot of that money fairly quickly. So that's my whole thing. It's like if you're gonna buy something, buy it to be a necessary. Meaning, if there's stuff that you really, really need to get. Especially now that it looks like we may get like a lot of the Asian countries may get another round of tariffs, particularly Japan. Which, if Japan gets these new rounds of tariffs coming, um, it's going as bad as pricing is going to be. It's going to be worse, because obviously Japan is like one of the major. I mean, what majority of the major camera brands are Japanese owned companies: Canon, Sony, Panasonic, Fujifilm. I think even Sigma. I think even Sigma is like, so yeah. So And Japan is supposedly one of those countries that is going to be getting a new tariff hike. So good luck to us all. So downsize, but and then if you need to buy only absolute necessary things. This is not a time to just go out on what I want, or at least me personally. I'm again, to the people that are here in the to the people that who are here, if you are watching, leave your thoughts on this. But for me, that's the first step. The second step is sort of look at what markets, whatever market that you're in, or whatever part of filmmaking or video production that you may be in. See how the market is shaping. For example, let's say you're in real estate, or maybe you want to get into real estate, or maybe you're in real estate. If you're already in real estate, then you're probably. I wish Loud and Clear was here, because he could definitely talk about this a little better. But you want to sort of see where your market is. So, like for example, real estate. Even right now, it is. Even though the prices of houses are still high, it has kind of shifted from a seller's market to a buyer market. And based on that shift, you kind of want to see how you want to play that field, and see what ways you want to advantage. Again, I'm not really into the real estate, but I do know that from the few people that I've talked to, typically when it switches from a seller's to a buyer's market, it gets a bit more difficult to try to break into the field with a healthy budget. I should say that, because prices are going to continue to get cut. I'll say this for weddings. Maybe look at some ways to, if you're doing weddings, I would say, if you're doing them full time, or you're maybe not seeing the amount that you're doing full time, maybe search ways where you can just do it partly for another company. So I personally don't do edits anymore for weddings. I only deal with day of shooting from this point on. Before I've been really doing it with my friend, but my friend has sort of stopped doing weddings from this point on, and he's gone a lot more on the corporate side. But I still do them, and what I did is I basically got found through Craigslist, a company that basically subcontracts people to just go and shoot the weddings. And the pay is not great, but it's helped. But doing that consistently enough, it does help pay. Look, it keeps the bills on, it keeps the lights on, and it's something. And again, it's something that I don't have to worry about dealing with post or anything like that. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is find ways to sort of navigate, or find sort of these new little things. And this kind of still goes back to the thing that basically you should always do, regardless of slow times or booming times, and that is, you got to get your name out there. You got to go constantly and shake hands, and this is especially true I've seen for minority people, or like myself, because a lot of at least from the experiences that I've seen recently, a lot of the major ad companies that would be trying to find us, they're kind of just sort of sticking now to, because they're kind of now just sticking to the newer, to the vendors, video vendors that they already have, and not trying to really explore out too much. So way I'm breaking in, and the way I'm getting in now, is basically just going directly to the clients, or going directly to them, and to people that need video, and just going directly to them. And basically through that, they sort of leverage to get us on shoots that maybe their advertisements may push another company when they really want us. Long story short is, put your name out there. get your face in front of other people. Let people know you're out there, and let people and know who you are. And really, if you do that and you put people out and people like you and people like working with you, it's going to make just, if you can make the job easier, that's just that's going to be the sweet stuff, and that's going to be the thing that's going to just get you through. It may not get you the consistency, but it's just requiring a lot more work. And that's sort of the main focus, I guess I will say with that, is that just keeping your head out, and also just keeping your head out. And then the last thing I'll say is just, if you got spare time or things are looking slower, find ways to do spec work of what you want to do. Again, look at the resources and whether if it's gear or labor or favors, gear, labor, or favors. Use your resources to try to put together an awesome spec work that's going to put even more eyes on you. So, like right now, I'm putting a spec for a 30-second ad with me and my sister. And then when I got more of that, I'll throw some behind the scenes so you guys can take a look at it. But that's sort of the main thing for me, is just trying to find best ways to keep your head in the game. Anyways, I would for anybody that's in this chat, I would love to know, what are you guys doing to get through the times, get through these struggles, or even are you struggling at all? Are you guys is it still in the money, constantly busy, constantly working? So let me know how that's going out. I would love to know. I see we got one person in the chat. If you're here, go say hi. Love to hear from you. All right, looking good. We got another person in the chat. What up? How you doing? How's filmmaking and film life? If you're in the film business, how's it looking out in your neck of the woods? Love to hear from you guys. All right, Cindy Animax, thank you for joining. Did I see Superman yet? No. So this week, my daughter just turned 8. So I've been with my family just celebrating that, and we're preparing for her party, which is this weekend. So no, I have not seen it yet. Please don't tell me anything. Because once things after the weekend, I'm going to go see it. I'll probably see it in matinee, but I have not seen it yet. That is one of the things I'm going to go see. So don't say anything, please. I've got that. So in terms of movies, I've got Superman, I got Fantastic Four, and then I got Demon Slayer, The Infinity Castle. Those are the 3 that are basically on my radar of movies I've got to see in the theater. So, I showed my sister the Demon Slayer trailer, and she's just like, "Yeah, we're gonna see it in IMAX." So, can't wait to see. I'm gonna try to see Superman in IMAX, and I can't wait to see what the Fantastic Four is gonna look like. But to answer your question, no, I haven't seen it yet, but really, really excited to see it. I try to keep myself from hearing anything, but I've heard good things about it. Yeah, man. No, it's definitely a great lineup. What movies? Is there any movies that are coming down the pipeline this year that you're looking to see? Yeah, I think this has been a pretty. I think this is going to be a really, really solid blockbuster summer. Um, again, I think I'm really again. I just I don't really. I'm not a big Fantastic Four person. So, and I honestly I have. I don't know when the last time I've seen a Marvel. I think Wakanda Forever was the last Marvel movie that I've seen in theaters, and I haven't really been big on that. But just the aesthetics of how the Fantastic Four looks makes me want to go out and see it and get excited for it. So, um, so we have that, and I'm trying to. I'm gonna do my best to look at some indie films that may be coming up that I maybe wanted to take a look at. Because like I said, I've got a lot going on at home, so really haven't had time to just really sit enjoy the movies as much as I want to. Let's see here. I think we could check out. Let's look through and see what. Um, let's see. We'll go hit through here and see what Amazon Prime stuff we can see that may be of interest. Let's see here. So as we look here, most of the stuff I will say is definitely in the for me with Amazon Primes. I've always feel like it's all the best. Some of the best deals is always with storage. So let's look at we got this SanDisk 38% off. So that's a pretty good deal. It's normally $255. It's now $355. It's now 200 and essentially $220. That's a pretty for a 4 terabyte external SanDisk SSD drive. That's not bad. Is there any deals for 8 terabytes? Oh, it looks like there is. Wow. So an 8 terabyte SanDisk is $450 when it's usually $700. So 30%. That's not bad. I've always felt like if you're gonna do Prime deals, probably just getting something like storage because we're always gonna need storage no matter what. Let's see what we got here. Oops. Let me cut back to that. Sorry about that. So, Cinemax. If we could talk real talk for a second while YouTube interfering, movies are watered down now. I mean, yeah. No, I'm totally with you, man. I still feel like there's still some great ones. In terms of blockbusters, obviously Dune Part Two I think was amazing. I I haven't seen damn, what was that other movie? I don't it's bugging my mind. But yeah, no, I totally hear you, man. I totally hear you on that with that thing. Best definitely that's I don't really go out to the theaters that much. And also movie theaters, movie theaters have just gotten so expensive. You're going to spend $150 just on a 2 ticket date at this point right now. So I'm very selective of what movies I want to go see. I got to be really, really, really into it. So, nah, Oh, hey man, look, man. At this channel, we're always doing real talk. So have at it. That's what this is for. That's what it's for, man. But that's why I've sort of been sitting more with the streaming shows. Um, uh, uh, I've been just watching. I caught the first episode of Adolescence, so I still got to finish the rest of it. I enjoyed the residency. I said the residency or the resident. I don't remember. I enjoyed that one. But if you guys follow the channel for a while, y'all know, I Andor is a phenomenal show. If you haven't seen Andor yet, I cannot recommend it enough. Me and the as the show was going on, me and this one of the people who run one of the rental shops in Philly, we were just texting each other and we were just geeking out about all the stuff. It's so good. Uh, Cinemat, Cindy, if you haven't seen it, if you're not, even if you're not a Star Wars guy, if you just love like good writing, great cinematography, great storytelling, great characters, um, really, really well connected, thought provoking topics. Um, Andor is just for like, and I get it, it's a Star Wars show, but it is everything. It is everything. Oh my gosh, like I cannot geek enough about Andor. I was so excited for season 2 that I actually was getting nervous that I was going to be let down, and man, I was not let down. Season 2 was at the very least just as good. I don't know if it's better. I've got to marinate on that because season 1 was just awesome, but the things that happened in season 2, it's just there was I went through an emotional roller coaster. So yeah, again, if you haven't seen, so yeah, I know I'm geeking out a little bit, but if you haven't seen Andor yet, I cannot recommend Andor enough. It's worth watching it. And that's the thing. It's just I've kind of got everything. I've kind of got my thrills of movie theaters, like right here at home. All right. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's great, man. Yes, yeah, it is simply amazing. It is people. I know it's been said enough. It's by far the best Star Wars content Disney has done. Yes, true. I would go a step further, and I know this is going to be fighting words. I think Andor is just as good as The Empire Strikes Back. To me, Andor and The Empire Strikes Back are 1A, 1B. That I know for some people that's going to be fighting words. I think it's better than A New Hope. I think it's better than Return of the Jedi. Yes, I will say that, and I will go to my grave defending that. I know fighting words for a lot of people. It's not just the best content Disney's done. I think it's one of the best Star Wars content, period. And I will go down swinging, saying that. But yes, both seasons are absolutely amazing. The entire cast killed it. Dan Gilroy and all of his directors kill it. The entire cinematography, like I'm actually been thinking of figuring out how would because I really want to do a cinematography breakdown. But I feel like just the first the first couple episodes of both seasons would take me like multiple videos just to sort of go through just some of the shots that these guys have done. But I'm thinking about it, and I'm still thinking maybe I should, but we'll see. Oops. I know. Look, I get it. Hey, I get it. I know some people fighting words, and I respect it. All I'm gonna say is squabble up. Bring me the smoke. If but but you know what? I respect everybody that may not look. I respect everybody that may not feel that way and feel say this is a stretch. I respect you. I'm just that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, yeah. But that's why I'm anxious to hear what you have to say about the film Slowdown. So okay, so I'll go over it again. I kind of went over it in the beginning, but I'll go over it again right now. So one of the things is just sort of like I don't know if you saw this, Cindy. There is an article, and I'll pull this article back up. Give me one moment. See if I can find it. So it was from News Shooter. Let's see. Here, there it is. Fully up. Yep. Okay. So let me switch. So there's a. I don't know what part of the world you're in. I don't know if you're in the U.S. I don't. In Australia. But it looks like I saw this news article and it's just really sad. But it looks like what a big post house, which is cutting edge, is going into liquidation. Now they've been mostly known for a lot of their commercial work, but as the article presents it, they've done works on Pirates of the Caribbean and Aquaman. They've worked on some pretty big name films, but it looks like they've gone bankrupt. And they owe they owe their staff allegedly a lot of money. So that's never a good thing. And this sort of again goes sort of back into what I kind of reported on a little while back, how there was also a major rent house in Los Angeles that basically closed its doors as well. And essentially, it is the sign of the times. Now, I won't say a lot of this has been expedited because of the Trump administration. This was stuff that was set in motion long before. Hollywood just kept getting too expensive. New York, like the big spots, they've just kept getting way too expensive, and people started moving out, and other countries started offering tax incentives for a lot of these studios to go and shoot elsewhere. So like I said, it started way before Trump and his administration, but his administration with tariffs and Doge did not help the situation. And it's I will be honest, I've definitely felt it locally. A lot of my friends and a lot of my colleagues, we've been talking about this pretty much all year, how it's just been rough. I mentioned someone I knew, someone who was a very well-known DP, very well-known, has done some pretty big stuff, and he's started to downgrade and downsize. A lot of my friends are downsizing, and that downsizing, one of them is basically moving out of a studio that pretty much they've had almost since I've known them. I mean, it's because they're just like they're not seeing really the point, and they're really not seeing the point in trying to keep it. So, and for me, and for us in my company, it's basically been extremely dry. It's been dry like the Sahara Desert all year. A lot of our corporate clients have pulled back. The doc that we were hoping to sort of be out of production in January, we're still waiting to do the second day shoot, and we're and hoping to raise more money so we can continue with the production of the doc. Yeah, it's It's just, and yeah, it's just been crazy. And the thing I would say is the best way I look at it, and the way I feel the best way to survive it is a downgrade. Whatever you, if you have things that you really don't need, or based on what you're seeing coming through right now, just get rid of it. Sell it if you can, if it's not a necessity. And if you're going to have to buy things, if you're going to buy things that are absolutely necessity. Like for me, the only thing I'm looking to buy is the Pixis 12K. And that's pretty much it, because one, I know there's a lot of companies that I have been talking to throughout the year, as well as I've sort of rekindled at the Build Expo. They're very eager to see how a lot of their products will work with the Pixis 12K. So so there's definitely some opportunities for me to work with a lot of other companies and brands. Number two, there's definitely interest in the Pixis 12K here in Philly, in the Philly tri-state area. So there's opportunities for collaborating with a lot of my colleagues here, but also there's rental opportunities here. I would say, even though I've talked to some of the rental companies here, they're not interested in getting the Pixis 12K, but I also think they're not interested in pretty much getting anything if it ain't a necessity. So I see this as an opportunity to sub-rent to one of them the Pixis 12K, and basically see if I feel like I've seen enough of the demand of people that I've talked to around that this could actually potentially that it could be something where I could be in first. So that's the reason why I'm getting the Pixis 12K, and also to put content and show you guys what that Pixis 12K is capable of. And I personally am just excited the Pixis 12K, but there's also business reasons. So I'm finding ways that can also help me generate money during this slowdown, during this slow period. So that's the other thing. Try to find other means of find other streams of income. If there's either a secondary skill that you may have that you want to sort of maybe capitalize a little bit more, or if you have any savings, sort of try to see where you can diverge some of that savings or some of those assets and investments, and see what you can use to help put another income. So, and I guess the last thing for me is also just, even though it's a slow period, get yourself out there. Let people see that you're still there, you're still working, even if it's working on spec projects. Because one, if with the slowdown, that means there's also a lot of people that is looking to do something. There's a lot of people that's looking to do work. If you got a concept, you got an idea that you can get people excited about, you can at least build that spec work. So when things start to turn, I don't know when they will start to turn, but I do know I'm starting to see more opportunities starting to show up at the end of the year. I'm not going to say that we'll be out of this, this rough patch, but I am seeing opportunities starting to grow on the latter half of the year. We'll see how that goes. But at the end of the day, you should always just be able to put yourself out so you can always be ready when opportunity comes knocking at your door. So, okay, so you're in Boston. Totally agree with that. The competition is crazy because every camera can do movies now. It's crazy out here, man. Yeah. Quite frankly, I'll say this. I don't think, I've gotten to a point where I don't really care about cameras as that much. I know some of my recent content, especially around Lumix, seems like I may be some sort of Lumix haters, but if you've been following me, I don't know how long you've been following me, man, but if you've been following me for a while, or if you haven't, I've owned Lumix cameras and I love them. I love the GH5, I love the GH5S, I love the GH6. I got my hands on the S1H. I liked it. I did love it. I got my hands on the GH7. I did love it. I I just there's certain things about it's more about the market. It was more about the marketing and how the marketing was sort of kind of, I guess, how's I put it, dogging other companies to sort of build them up in a weird way. That was sort of rubbing me the wrong way. But I still like Lumix. I think they deliver great products. There's some flaws with these newer cameras for me, and they're just not. They're doing a lot of great things, but for what I'm looking for, it's just not enough. But that's me. But there's a ton of other companies. To me, I guess what I'm ultimately trying to say is, all these cameras are so damn good. In fact, everything is so good that even older used cameras are good. It's like there's options of plenty of great, powerful cameras, cinema cameras, mirrorless style cameras that can fit what you need. For me, it's just about the Pixis 12K fits exactly what I have been wanting for years. For years, the Pixis 12K is almost everything that I wanted. It would have been nice to have built-in NDs, absolutely, but it's not the end of the world, and I've got matte boxes, and for what I am doing with that camera, the matte box, I'm going to be on matte boxes. So, and I much actually prefer NDs in front of the, I've learned that I've actually prefer NDs in front of the lenses more so than behind the lenses. Mainly because when I'm dealing with, it helps not having to deal with shimming, because I have to deal with another piece of glass that's affecting the lens, affecting the lens and the reading out to the sensor. So that's the main thing. But yeah, no, cameras are like incredibly like. There's no reason to like there's no reason to be like gang 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 over any company. Like, just find what works for you. So another question. Also another question, like the RL Alexa 265, do you think Blackmagic will make a 17K 6 Pixis body? I don't. The main reason is, one, I think it's more of, they don't want to cannibalize that market. But also, the physical reason is just that there would be too many compromises as is. And also, I just don't think the sensor that Blackmagic designed for the 70K would fit a Pixis body, or at least the design that they currently have of the Pixis. The mount is just the mount itself is not big enough to house the 65 millimeter sensor that Blackmagic has. So because of that, I don't see it coming in a Pixis body, just because there's just physically not enough space in the current Pixis body. If they may build a whole new body that's sort of a Pixis style, but maybe a little bit smaller. But for the current Pixis that they have, I just don't see it. Hopefully, and that is, it's more of a physical thing. It's just the sensor would not fit the way they designed the holder of the sensor. It just wouldn't fit. Hopefully that answers your question. And hopefully I've sort of helped you out and sort of was helpful with this conversation of the slowdown. But yeah, it looks like it's just mainly been you and me throughout this whole stream, which is cool. I don't mind. I can have one-on-one chats all the time, and it's always fun. So, one of my buddies who's like a really well-known gaffer. I mean, me and him we literally spent during the NBA Finals just spending hours talking about the games and talking about the different teams and just talking about the state of basketball. And then the draft came. But yeah, me and him talk basketball all the time. So, and it's just like, so I have no problem. So I don't mind just doing a one-on-one chat. I just wish there was a way to sort of make it a little bit more engaging. I gotta find ways to see if there's ways I can do that to make this a little bit more of an engaging thing. But I think let me. But yeah, I think. But so yeah. But I will say this. Right now, I think Blackmagic is already doing big. I think Blackmagic is already doing big with that 17K. It's already getting recognition in Hollywood. Because there was a post by cinematographer Greg Fraser, the cinematographer for Dune, and the creator. He was trying out the 17K and seemed like he was enjoying it. When you get bigger and when you get names like him and they start putting that on projects and we start seeing it on projects, it's going to take a year, at least a year. But I think Blackmagic has finally. I think of the companies, even though they're getting hit with tariffs too. I think Blackmagic is going to be one of those that may come out the most unscathed out of all the companies because they've already won like working with I think Teamsters for the post production in terms of making it teaching Teamsters and new Teamsters to join of how to work with DaVinci Resolve. So more and more people are now learning on DaVinci Resolve. And it's interesting. I don't know if it got renewed, but I believe New York's for students in New York, Adobe was like free for the longest time, and that's set to expire. And I think it has expired. And I don't think they renewed it. So all these students are now going to be hit with those subscriptions for Adobe, and now they're probably looking at Resolve and going, you know what, give that a try. So they're getting big and being successful. Resolve, all of a sudden, certain high-end big name DPs are touching their high-end cinema cameras. I think Blackmagic, there's still issues, and there's going to be issues. There's always issues with every camera, but I think they are positioned themselves to be one of the biggest success stories out of the different companies. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you so much. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream because I feel like I'm just drabbling on too long. So I'm gonna try to make this a weekly thing. So like weekly thing around 6 o'clock. I'll see how this goes in terms of timing, the time frame. But basically, yeah, it's just a wind down. Basically, just sort of discussing what's going on in the week, sort of chills, vibes, sort of kick back and relax. So hopefully that is the case. I wish the industry would respect them more and start using Blackmagic cameras and projects because I know DPs are saying it's right on par with Arri. Yeah, I think so. Blackmagic has has a big black spot on the history in terms of reliability, as well as there's other things where it in the early days Blackmagic really rubbed a lot of professionals the wrong way in terms of their quality control. I don't know how long you've been in the game, but I remember in the original cinema camera. I'm talking about the original Blackmagic cinema camera and the original pocket cinema camera. There was something known as the black spot that would show up, that would randomly show up on some of their cameras. And yeah, that was not good. And again, there a lot of the, especially also there a lot of their products have just really, I just know from terms of AV, from the AV world, broadcasting, a lot of people were like kind of turned off by Blackmagic because of these quality control issues. They've since then obviously have learned. They've gotten so much better, and obviously the quality of their cameras are just, yeah, they are up there with Arri. And I can tell you, Arri knows this as well. I'm just saying, they know. And I think it's, I guess, before I'll end the stream, I'll say there's one more thing I think probably need to talk about, and that is, Arri's also, you can see the sign of the times with Arri as well. Arri, if I remember, there was an article. Let me see if I can pull this up. There was an article that had where Arri was selling off. Arri was selling off. Their lighting subsidiary. Here it is. So let me see if I can pull this up real quick. All right, and so yeah, this was May. This was back in May. But Arri signs an agreement to sell its subsidiary Clay Packy to a new strategic owner. So this was May 13th of this year. Arri announced today that it's entered into a definitive agreement to sell its subsidiary Claypack to new strategic owner EK Incorporated, operating one of the most advanced lighting productions and development facilities in the industry. And then there's a lot more of saying, this is a great opportunity, the same old PR stuff. So yeah, so Arri is selling off different things. They said they're going to focus on their core technologies, meaning they're really going to trying to keep their focusing on the cinema cameras and obviously their lenses. But they sold off the lighting. They sold off the lighting division. You also see now they're also licensing out Arri Log C3, which you see. I don't know if you see my recent video, but I recently did a video where I showed in DaVinci Resolve how you can color grade. You can through understanding color pipelines and stuff, that you can basically, even though this is it's a nice little thing to have Arri C3 in the Lumix cameras, you can basically mimic a lot of the same things. You can mimic an Arri camera very easily in DaVinci Resolve, and you can do it for free. And if you got the right plugins that can help you with pipelines and also some other features of Resolve, like OpenDRT, like Perfect Skin, and a couple other DCLs and plugins that you can put in. It's so easy. It is extremely easy. Cinematch is another one. It's super easy to get the look of an Arri camera. It's not hard at all. I've been doing it for years. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that, but if you want to just have it where you can just throw that in there, the point I'm trying to make is Arri is making efforts to license this out. So essentially what I'm trying to say is they see the times are changing, and even a company that is well known and beloved like Arri, they're seeing the writing on the wall. But I think I'm going to go ahead and call this stream and call it to an end. Hopefully you've enjoyed, Cindy. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And again, if you subscribe, I really do appreciate it. And thank you for love and joining my support. Like I said, I'm going to try to do this every Thursday at 6 p.m. And so yeah, keep an eye out for that. And until next time.